Hello students. So in 8th lecture of solid state we will discuss about 3-dimensional close packing from 2-dimensional hexagonal close pack layers. So as discussed in previous lecture, we got two different type of 2-dimensional close pack structures. One was square close pack structures and second one was hexagonal close pack structure. So in square close packing structure, if we stack different square close pack structures 2-dimensional on top of each other, then you will get first type of 3-dimensional close pack structure. Now we will use 2-dimensional hexagonal layers and we will try to convert them into 3-dimensional close packing structure. So we have two different way for doing this. In first step, we will place two different layers on top of each other. That means our point A will be placing second layer over the first layer. So first of all, this is a single layer of hexagonal 2-dimensional close pack structure. So as we can see, this structure when we arrange second layer on top of this first layer, but we will place second layer slightly different from the first layer. That means we will arrange second layer's sphere inside the depression of first layer sphere. Now first of all, what is depression? So depression is a part of a surface which is lower than the rest. That means for these spheres, this will be depression. So when two spheres meet each other, you will notice there is some depression near them. So when we arrange second layer on top of this first layer, then we will arrange second layer sphere in the depression of first layer's spheres like this. So suppose let us consider bottom layer as a layer A. That means this one is our first layer A, but second layer is arranged slightly different. It is not exactly same as the first layer because we arranged spheres in the depression of first layer. So that's why we will call this second layer as a layer B. So here we have A B type arrangement for first two layers. Okay, so this is important to note. We are talking about two layers only. So as you can see, we stacked two different layers of hexagonal 2-dimensional close pack structure on top of each other. Bottom layer is A layer, upper layer is B layer. So here we created two different type of voids. Now what is voids? Voids means empty space between spheres. So spherical shapes will leave some empty space between them and it is called voids. So here two different type of voids are generated. First is tetrahedral voids and second is octahedral voids. So where these type of voids are created. So let us discuss about octahedral and tetrahedral shapes and voids created by spheres first. So first of all, this is tetrahedral shape. So this shape is called tetrahedral because it has four planes. Now tetra means four and hedra means planes. So because this structure contains four planes, this is called tetrahedral structure. So let us count planes first. So now as you can see, first blue one, then we have a yellow, then green and red. So as you can see, we have four different planes here. That's why this shape is called tetrahedral. Now for this type of shape we need 4 points. As you can see in this structure, we have four different points: 1, 2, 3 and 4. When these 4 points are connected with each other, you will get these type of tetrahedral voids. So when three different spheres from the first layer of hexagonal arrangement which creates a triangle, that means in this shape, this is the bottom layer's three spheres arranged like this. So these bottom layers three spheres are arranged like this, and the second layer's sphere will be arranged in depression of these three sphere like this. So this is tetrahedral shape where these three belongs to lower layer and this upper one belongs to second layer which is arranged on top of it. So here we have a tetrahedral shape and empty space between them is called tetrahedral void. So when from two different layers four spheres meet with each other, then they will create tetrahedral voids as you can see in this figure. So where this type of tetrahedral void is created by these two different layers. So let us try to find out it. So we need three spheres from the bottom layer and a fourth sphere from the upper layer. So this type of configuration is continuously repeated in these two different layers. Let us try to find out it. So as you can see here, first of all, let us select three spheres from the bottom layer. Okay, so as you can see in this figure, so first bottom layer has these three spheres and upper layer has one sphere in depression of this three sphere, this one. So now you can see we gave different colors to those spheres. So as you can see, bottom three spheres, they create a triangular shape and upper layer has fourth sphere on top of it, and you will notice there is some empty space between them which is called void. So these type of voids will be continuously repeated in this structure. So let us try to find out some of them from these two layers only. Now keep in mind, to create a tetrahedral void we need four spheres, three from bottom and one from upper, or vice versa. You can select three from upper layer and one from bottom layer which is present in depression of 3. So first of all, we already marked one here. Between these three bottom sphere we have one upper sphere, so they have empty space between them and eventually it will create void. Similarly, adjacent location, three bottom sphere also creates a triangle and we have this upper layer sphere, so it also creates a tetrahedral void. Same type of tetrahedral void will be created between these four sphere. Again one tetrahedral void will be repeated here, again one tetrahedral void and one here, and so on throughout the crystal. So you will get a series of tetrahedral void. Now similar type of situation will be repeated again. As for example, first of all, these three sphere from the bottom layer. Okay, so bottom layer spheres are connected with straight line, and then we have this upper layers red sphere on top of it. So again you will get a tetrahedral void. Same type of repetition will be observed in adjacent position. First of all, let us connect center of three bottom sphere. So these three bottom sphere centers are connected with each other, and then we have one sphere on top of these three. So again you will get a tetrahedral void. So same type of repetition will be observed again. So you will get a second tetrahedral void series. Same type of repetition. Again you will notice here these three sphere from bottom layer, and then we have a red sphere on top of it. Similarly, three spheres from bottom and one from the upper. So again tetrahedral void will be repeated here. So you will get multiple tetrahedral voids in this case. Now second type of voids, which is created by 6 spheres, 3 from bottom and 3 from upper layer. So it is called octahedral void. Now first of all, this is our octahedral shape. Now octahedral shape is created by total 6 points. As you can see in this case, we have total 6 points or atoms: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So these 6 spheres will create empty space between them, which is called octahedral void. Now first of all, let us discuss about octahedral shape. So as you can see, this is our octahedral shape. First of all, let us divide this shape in two parts. So upper part creates a pyramidal shape. Now we already know the pyramidal shape, which has 4 sides and one base. So as you can see the first side here, then we have second, third and fourth. So 4 sides from top side of pyramid, and similarly we have 4 sides from second pyramid, which is attached upside down. So 4 from bottom and 4 from top. Because of 8 planes, this shape is called octahedral shape. So octahedral shape will be created by 6 spheres, 3 from bottom layer and 3 from upper layer. So let us assume these 3 spheres belongs to first layer, either upper or lower, doesn't matter, but these 3 belongs to same sphere, which creates a triangular shape. We already noticed that in hexagonal two-dimensional closed pack structure, 3 adjacent spheres will create a triangular shape. So in this case, again these 3 adjacent spheres are creating a triangular shape. So these 3 from first layer creates a triangle, and similarly 3 from bottom layer will also create a triangle, but direction of second triangle will be opposite from first triangle, like this. As you can see, when first spheres creates a triangle pointing topwards, second sphere will create a triangle which points downwards, and you will get a octahedral shape like this. Okay, so as you can see, this is our octahedral shape created by total 6 spheres, 3 from bottom and 3 from upper layer. So this is our octahedral void. Actually void is between these spheres, so empty space which you can see here, if it is void. So you can see throughout this octahedral void. So in textbook you will see tetrahedron and octahedron shapes are mentioned in figure 1.21. So you can compare this shape, which is represented between these spheres with dotted lines, and you can compare this shape with figures given in textbook. So to match the exact figure with the figure of textbook, we have to slightly rotate this shape. So now you can compare the shape mentioned in textbook and mentioned in this image as well. So you can see shape mentioned in textbook and shape you can see here, they are same. So this is octahedron created by total 6 spheres, and empty space between these 6 spheres is called octahedral void. Okay, so this is our octahedral void. Similarly, you can compare the shape of textbook of tetrahedron with this image. So dotted line represents tetrahedral shape between these spheres. So now you can see, or you can match the image mentioned in textbook in figure 1.21 and mentioned here. So you can see the tetrahedron shape mentioned in textbook and created between these spheres are exactly same. Now let us find octahedral void in two layers of hexagonal layer placed on top of each other. But first, point to be noted, we need 3 spheres from first layer and 3 spheres from second layer, which creates opposite triangles. Okay, and you can see through the octahedral void. As you can see here, we can see through the octahedral void here, and we have 3 triangles from first layer and 3 triangles from second layer, and both creates opposite triangles. Now let us find octahedral void in this image. So as mentioned, we need 3 spheres from bottom layer and 3 spheres from upper layer. So already one octahedral void is mentioned here. First of all, let us connect the center of 3 spheres from bottom layer. So as you can see, when we connect these centers, you will get a triangle pointing upwards. Now when we connect upper layers center sphere, so you can see we have opposite pointing triangle. So when we connect bottom layers 3 spheres, it gives us triangle pointing upward, and when we connect center of spheres of second layer, they are pointing downwards. So these 6 spheres will create octahedral void, which is already mentioned here. So, and as you can see, we can see through these octahedral voids. So now this is not a single octahedral void here, we have a series of them. So let us try to find some of them. So first of all, let us connect the center of bottom layers. So this is the center of 3 spheres from the bottom, and now let us connect the 3 spheres on top of it. So when we connect center of these 3 spheres, they are pointing opposite. So in this case, at the center of this 6 sphere we have a octahedral void, and we can see through it. Similarly, same situation is repeated here. You will have a octahedral void here. Again, one more octahedral void is here. One more octahedral void is present here. One more octahedral void is present here, and so on. It will be repeated. Now, if we move slightly upwards, you will notice same type of situation is repeated here. 3 spheres from bottom and 3 spheres from upper layer will create octahedral void. Same thing will be repeated here. You will get one more octahedral void here. You will get one more octahedral void here, and so on. So you will get multiple series of tetrahedral and octahedral voids in this case, but their numbers will be different. Now let us represent tetrahedral and octahedral voids here quickly. So here we have tetrahedral voids, a series of tetrahedral voids. Again we have series of tetrahedral voids here. Then we have tetrahedral void series here as well. 3 spheres from top and 1 sphere from bottom will create this tetrahedral void. We need total 4 spheres to create tetrahedral voids. Similar situation will be repeated here. So these are the tetrahedral voids series. Okay, all of them represents tetrahedral voids. In some cases, 3 spheres from bottom layer and 1 from top layer will contribute. In some cases, vice versa situation, that means 1 from bottom and 3 from top will be contributing in tetrahedral void. Now let us find octahedral voids in this case. So here we have octahedral void, series of it. Then we have series of octahedral void here also. So you will notice per two lines of tetrahedral voids we have one line or series of octahedral void. That means this is the line of tetrahedral void. This is the line of tetrahedral void. This is the line of tetrahedral void. Then we have line of tetrahedral void. Again we have line of tetrahedral void. And this is the line of octahedral void. Then this is the line of octahedral void, and if we continue to repeat this pattern, you will get a line of tetrahedral void, octahedral voids here. So as you can see, we have two lines of tetrahedral voids, then we have one line of octahedral void. Again we have two lines of tetrahedral voids, and then we have one line of octahedral void. That means number of octahedral voids will be half than tetrahedral voids, or number of tetrahedral voids will be doubled than number of octahedral voids. And if number of spheres is equal to n, the number of tetrahedral voids will be double than that. That means it will be 2n, and number of octahedral voids will be same as the number of spheres. So number of octahedral void is equal to n. So if number of spheres it is equal to 100, the number of octahedral voids will be 100 and number of tetrahedral voids will be 200. So number of spheres and number of voids are related to each other. So remember this simple equation: number of spheres and number of octahedral voids are same. Number of spheres and number of tetrahedral voids, in this case number of tetrahedral voids will be double, and the total number of voids will be 3 times than number of spheres. So just remember, number of atoms, suppose it is equal to n, then number of tetrahedral voids it is equal to 2n, number of octahedral voids will be n, and total voids will be 3n. Okay, so remember this relation. If number of sphere is equal to 1, then it will create total 2 tetrahedral void, it will create 1 octahedral void, and total number of voids will be 3. 2 from tetrahedral, 1 from octahedral. Total you will get 3 spheres. Now we will discuss about arrangement of third layer on top of these two layers in next lecture. So remember these points. If you have any confusion regarding to this point, then you can ask me again. When we arrange third layer on top of second layer, we have again two possibilities. So we will discuss about these two different type of possibilities and unit cells created by them. Okay, so these points are slightly hard to understand because they are three-dimensional arrangements. Okay, so 3D arrangements are often confusing and hard to imagine, so that's why we discussed them using these figures. But still, if you have any confusion regarding to these points, you can ask me, because it is slightly difficult topic. Don't hesitate in asking, you can ask me anytime. Okay, so in next lecture we will discuss about arrangement of third layer on top of these two layers, and again we have two different type of possibilities for the arrangement of third layer.